Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, DTF, here with another album review, reviewing Lexio, otherwise known as Let God Sort 'Em Out. Now, um, I don't think there's any stalling to be done. I'm actually still adjusting to this new format of just getting right into things. I'm so used to side tangenting. I'm so used to going on like side tangents and just separate sections. I always stall or like I try to overdo things. Also get distracted with elements, constructions happening outside. The lighting is beyond shit. Okay. I wanted to wear colors to fit the thing, but I was just like, I don't have anything on me right now. So without further ado, let's just dive into this review. The format in which we will review shall be shown on screen, as you'll see here. Each and every video, it might, okay, not each and every video, but every now and then you might see it change, shift. I'm trying a bunch of new concepts, a bunch of new things. As you can see, I'm no longer standing. It was too uncomfortable. The mic kept making too much noises as I moved it around. I kind of wanted to shift this, go with like a cozy, fitted, focused aesthetic feel. That's wanted to have like in this corner, I wanted to have like a bit of the MacBook showing, and I wanted to have like a coffee with me or something. Maybe one day when I have the like know-how on how to design that kind of area, maybe. But we're trying new things. This is the new setup for now. So without further ado, let's just get right in. In terms of intention, it didn't necessarily feel like they had a goal or a specific mission with releasing this project. More or less, the only things I could really find when diving into it is that they did seem to continuously bring up the topic of lyric based hip hop, with, I guess, the belief that nowadays it's become a lot of like, as they what refer to as like mumble rap and a lot of trap music. It's all become about the aesthetics and that like that dark, misty, smoky feel to a bunch of these new artists, which in and of itself can be enjoyable, of course. But with the Clipse specifically, they seem to have this intention of bringing back old school into a more modern age, which I personally can appreciate. But I like both sides of the spectrum. I wouldn't even say like I have a preference. Okay, I guess that's actually kind of a lie. I appreciate it in the sense that like it brings back this care about what you're saying and what you're putting out there, not just this this sound coming out of you vocally. There's like actual intention behind the words that you're using to connect to other words and the message, and like I just feel like it's more intentional and it's more skill based. I can always appreciate an art form that requires skill, you know. Again, that's not to necessarily say that people who make the contra to this don't have skill of their own. I just feel like it's a more masterful craft uh, here on this side. I don't even know what to call it, so we're using science now. And other than that, in terms of intention, I just feel like the basics to further push the boundaries of hip hop sound, and potentially bring home a Grammy. Sound and production. Now, I actually have quite a lot of notes here, and I'm probably going to have to read straight from the thingy because I, for the life of me, cannot remember everything that is down. So bear with me. Some of these elements were pulled from a Google search, slightly modified. But that tends to also change with the new AI models that people are using to like brief from separate websites, so on and so forth. So I don't know if it's going to continue to be, if you're going to get the same results when searching. But bear with me, you'll see what I mean. First of all, we have gospel and orchestral elements, right? So piano, gospel piano, string arrangements, even a gospel choir being the voices of fire, straight bars right there, all to create what they describe as a very rich, emotional, and sometimes ghostly or haunting horrorcore backdrop, which I seem to notice quite a lot on Ibiza, if that's what it's called, and So Far Ahead. Speaking of, though, Pharrell seems to use quite a lot of gospel-inspired sounds, being the choirs, being the pianos, string arrangements, whatever it is. I learned quite a bit of his childhood from that Lego movie that I watched like twice, and I even might watch again. It's a pretty decent movie. I mean, it's not like random or strange. Matter of fact, I'm actually appreciative of the fact because not only am I Christian, but I also like, it's not just like, even for that, it's just not like the sound It's just so good, bro. It's just so good. But yeah, you do get to see the early influence of church in Pharrell's life when you watch the movie. Not fully dived into, but you can see the parallels and the reasons behind that. Classic hip hop textures. I like the way they use these terms, like textures. Like, oh my word! Behind the larger arrangements, sorry, the percussions and overall feel often recall golden era hip hop. What I believe to be famous southern and eastern hip hop sounds, primarily eastern though. And in terms of these percussions, I think I noticed most of it in POV. I do have it noted. I say I think, but I have it noticed most in POV. Now, also in terms of coastal hip hop, I'm not too educated. Oh my word, this light here. Now, in terms of like different types of coastal hip hop, I'm not too familiarized. I'm still in the midst of learning the differences. I do understand that the Clipse derive from the East and they apparently give off an Eastern type of vibe, if I have that correct. But in terms of like, whenever I've listened to certain hip hops and it's been like described as Southern, I made the connection instinctively. So that's why I thought they were from the South until I did research. So that's what I got from that. Oh, I think I also have noticed, yeah, like in terms of the bass, the drums, and how it lands, like that's what made me think it was Southern. But maybe I have that completely wrong. Bass age production. Like, do you hear these categories? Like space age. Oh, my soul sounds so clean, bro. Described as having a unique, sometimes sterile or space age lens. So clean. Using the distinct sounds and mixing techniques, such as a crisp yet spread out bass and kick. I noticed a lot of that on Cash In, Cash Out. I could tell there was a form of space and a form of like this eerie, white noise. Maybe I don't even have that right. Like it led up, landed, and faded out. It feels like a mountain in terms of a drum. I don't know how to describe it. As you can see, I'm struggling. I'm using shapes and things, but like I can tell when Pharrell has produced a track, like just the level of polish and the kind of chops he puts in, and it's just like you can tell it's a Pharrell produced track, and I really do like it like so much. Duality. There's often a balance and a sense of orchestral violence with introspective vulnerability, providing what they describe as a fitting sonic bed. Are you hearing the same words I'm hearing right now? Sonic bed. Is this not the most goated producer shit you've ever heard? But yeah, Sonic Bed for Pusha T's street narratives and Malice's moral reflections, as they describe. Which I personally noticed quite a bit in The Birds Don't Sing. And yeah, it's like Pharrell always seems to find the solid balance between this aggressive yet vulnerable, soft yet killer type of production and like scenery, allowing for this dynamic for like Pusha and Alice to like cooperate in, you know. So that's what I've also noticed in terms of duality, if I have that correct. The project concept, aesthetic, and theme. That's actually has not a lot, but at the same time a lot of notes. Now I have it noted down here, okay? It says not much conceptually. The only link to a concept I can find is the fact that the cover art is done by Cause, who uses a cartoony yet dark plane as art to provide what I presume to be a contra to what the actual theme is, simply made to play around and provide with something memorable. I think I'm overlooking into it though. I genuinely don't think there is a concept. I've watched a bunch of other people's reviews on this and no one's ever really mentioned anything about a concept necessarily. There's like concept in the lyrics, sure, but in terms of the project itself, sorry about this lighting by the way, but I don't think there is one. But in terms of the aesthetic and theme, pink, love the pink, by the way. I don't know what in my life has been happening lately, but pink has been speaking things to me, okay? Pink, street, bones, extravagant, dark, villainous, definitely villainous. Have you seen the POV music video? That it just watch that and it'll speak for itself. Devious, evil, ruthless, black, leather, white bling, and grayscale. I say black not because they're black people, but there's like a lot of darkness, I feel like, and so that's just what comes to mind. And the reason I have this as a section in the first place, aesthetic and theme, is just like You can always tell there's a feel to a project. You can never just, my word, this lighting. Dang! It's like nature's trying to blind you. And then it just gets dark. Okay. If anyone is wondering, no, I'm not crying. I just had like a really big yawn. But the reason I have aesthetic and theme and like words like that as even a section to begin with is simply just like you can always tell a project has a feel. And I always want to do my best to get as close to that feel as possible. To always understand how it was made, especially as a person who wants to create this kind of art in the future, very near future, hopefully. I want to know and learn how to create this kind of stuff so I can do the same and as intentionally as possible. If I want to have this feel for a project, I want to know exactly how to make that happen, never by coincidence or simply because I got lucky and it looks really nice. Like I want to intentionally be able to make that feeling, that aesthetic. So that's why I have this in the first place, you know? Now next we have story. Not necessarily much either. It's very similar to concept. So I was contemplating them making them the same section, but I feel like concept ties closer to the aesthetic. But in terms of story, I just have a grand entrance as to their 15-year hiatus. A reunion between brothers, family, and grief. Themes of giving things to a higher power, such as being God. There was some drama behind the record label trying to remove Kendrick as a feature from Change and Whips because of his beef with Drake and all the lawsuits that were going on. And then just as basically expected, the comparisons between their drug street life back in the day to their now extravagant, vast lifestyles. So yeah, not too much story driven, but I think that's okay, you know? Again, it's like I don't want to like explain basic concepts here, but simply just the fact that not every project has to be story driven, you know? The fact that they were even able to produce these kinds of tracks and fit the themes and do what they did, you know, yeah, I don't think I even listed this as a section because I was about to go into, yeah, some things. Yeah, it's like, oh, wait, no, I do have it here. Oh, I do. Okay, I'm gonna keep that little snippet for just the end, just in case if I want to tie any loose ends. Next section, my favorite section, my favorite songs. Okay. Number 3 is kind of a boring answer because it is a tie between 3 songs. All things considered, Inglorious Bastards, and Ibiza, if I said that correctly. Because it's like all these tracks provide me with this like ecstatic sense of like enjoyability. It's like I can't choose because all things considered has like a very clean bounce. Inglorious Bastards. I know you guys say bastards, you know, the Americans, but we say bastards. Has this disruptive, cocky bounce to it, and Ibiza just has this like angelic rise that just has me levitating every time I listen to it. I'm just like, yes, take me. So I've tried to pick, but I can't. I just can't. Like I think if I had to say which one is the weakest out of the 3, maybe it would be Ibiza. I hate saying that word because I feel like people say it differently than I do, but still I have to have it up there, man. It's so good. Second, it's gonna be pretty obvious that it's in my top 3 is Chains and Whips. First of all, easy Kendrick bias. Like, can we like who did you not expect this? But also like the sinister, gritty sound, I just feel like is just so undeniable. You can't help but acknowledge the fact that this is like one of the top tracks. Like, if this isn't in your top 3 in this album, I don't trust your opinion. I mean, sure, it's an opinion at the end of the day, but some opinions are just wrong. But number 1, as I feel, is going to be very obvious because what you'll come to learn about me is I'm a very intact, in tune, meaningful individual, and so I have to give the number 1 spot to The Birds Don't Sing. It's not my most replayed, it's not my most listened to, but I just think it is the best song, and for good reasons too. Like I have here, emotional, beautiful, angelic, deep, right? Made me cry like 4 times, like the first 4 times I listened to it. It also works as an incredible introduction and is a good finish if it were to be put at the end. Um, and it has this theme of larger than life, again, giving things to a higher power, God. And what else can I say about this damn track? Like, it just brings out so much emotion. The vocals from John Legend, bro. Oh my soul. Every time, like when Malice is saying that verse, and then there's that little bit of John Legend, and then it hits. Uh, the code to your phone was I love my what? Oh, I love my two sons was the code to your phone, and then that thing hits every single time, dude. Every single time. Now, how it's aged. I have two sections, personally and publicly. Personally, I listen to it on repeat all the time. I've been listening to this album nonstop this entire month. Ever since I just started. I'm the kind of person that songs grow on. They don't just hit straight away. So things like Mike Tyson blows to the face, things like POV. In fact, I really didn't even like in the beginning. Um, but it grew on me, and now I can listen to POV and jam out. Now I can listen to Mike Tyson blow in the face, and I love that bloody audio sample from that YouTube video. It's I just think in terms of okay, well actually we should also make this a section. In terms of like my least favorite song, I would probably give it to it's between Chandeliers or what's that song called? Glory, is it Glory to God or Glory Oh God? It's like the ending track. I just don't think it's that incredible of an ending track. Um, if you've ever heard Gloria, my soul, is that a good ending track, bro? It's just incredible. But I feel like it's a lesser, slightly lesser version of that. Yeah, okay, I'd probably give it like I think it's called Glory to God. I'm not too sure. Because at least Chandeliers has like a bit more of a beat switch. It has like a bit like more in it, but it's not too strong of a track for me either. Those are the only two tracks I don't really listen to, but everything else has been on repeat within my circulation. And publicly, like I've maybe said just a little bit before, it is now a contender for a Grammy up against GNX, Chromacopia, Don't Tap the Glass, three very, very strong records. Obviously, Don't Tap the Glass, not as serious. I doubt Don't Tap the Glass is going to win. But Chromacopia and GNX, it's like this is going to be a super tough battle. I mean, in terms of numbers, GNX easily. In terms of like a story, Chromacopia easily, right? But at the same time, like this project is also just so profoundly strong, and I don't think albums can purely be based off of just numbers alone. It's been a huge year for Kendrick, obviously. Same for Tyler, in fact. And the fact that he has two projects in one really makes the Grammy for an interesting listen. I cannot wait. Um, yeah, and in terms of how it's aged publicly, again, it's now considered like a masterpiece by so many, very highly acclaimed, and all whom are a fan seem to really, really enjoy it. Like one of, I mean, I'm not too educated on the Clipse yet. I'm thinking about going back and listening to some of their old stuff now, doing my history lessons. But yeah, it does seem to be like one of their most loved projects. Maybe the hiatus as well has kind of helped fuel that. And Enjoyability. I must say, this album has been so, so good to listen to. Just, it's like fitted all themes of emotional depth, as well as just an absolute banger to play. It's like had that perfect mid balance, and even the duration, I feel like, of this album wasn't too long. It's like you'd always want more, but I feel like that's a good project when they leave you wanting more. And yeah, a 40 minutes enjoyment of that, like the energy, I didn't even have to force myself, like it just kept going. And the fact that each song like fits each other so well. Sometimes I'll play it in the gym and I'm not even realizing that it's the next song. Like that's how similar the sound is and yet different at the same time. It's really, really well produced. Speaks to the level of production and mastery that these people have. Just super pleasant to consume. And thus, I'm going to round this off with the overall score. I don't know if it's going to shock some people. Maybe not, but 9 out of 10. No, 9 out of 10? 9 out of 10? No, but I just feel like if it was maybe a bit more story driven, if it was also a little bit stronger in terms of the ending track, for me personally, give it a 10 out of 10. And I did say that it doesn't have to be as story driven to be a good project. Of course not. I am yet to see a project that isn't story driven that I'd give it a 10 out of 10. But yeah, it's just like, just toward the end, like whenever I just thought about giving this a 10 out of 10, I just wasn't comfortable. But I'm like, it's more than an 8 out of 10. It's definitely more. So I felt like a really mid 9 would do it justice. All have different opinions. I'm sure the people who have listened to Clipse for a long time would just give it a straight 10 out of 10. And, all respect to you guys. And I guess, well, again, opinions. And in terms of anything else I have to add, I genuinely hope Let God Sort Him Out wins the Grammy out of all the contenders. Like, I love GNX. Super catchy beats, like just so good. Mad numbers, by the way. Chromacopia is also super, super cool. Don't Tap the Glass is a pretty decent project. But I think out of all of them, my favorite is Let God Sort Him Out. Let me know your thoughts. What you guys rated this album? Did I do it justice? Did I not do it justice? Is there anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to let me know? Any story things? Any personal analogies? Also, how's the vinyl? I don't get to order that because I live in a separate country. It's truly painful. Let me know. Without further ado, I'll see y'all in the next one. It's been your boy, and adios.